Hello, everyone. Welcome back if you are returning. I'm so happy that you decided to pop in. And if you are new here, I am Frazelle. And today we are going to be talking about this new year. First off, I want to say congratulations because we made it. And that is a big deal considering how difficult 2021 was for so many of us. I know that I hear a lot of people saying that it just wasn't their most exciting year, and I completely get that. I'm on the same track with you. I feel like 2021 for me was kind of like whenever you're getting your meal prepared, you have a nice movie that you're getting ready to watch, and you think, maybe I just need a few more seasonings. I need to get my favorite juice, my favorite soda to go with this nice meal. And you heat up your meal, you're putting all your seasoning on, and then by the time you sit down, your meal is lukewarm. And let me just say, 2021 was a lukewarm year, and I just wasn't really a fan. I definitely feel as though there was a lot of growth that happened during 2021. My word of that year was restore, and I feel that there was so much restoration, there was so much healing, there was so much that happened in order to lead me to where I want to be in my life, and I am forever grateful for that. But I am certainly in the boat of saying, let's wipe our hands clean of 2021 and let's welcome 2022 with open arms. I am so excited, and I hope you are too. So today I want to just talk about a few different things that I have set in place for myself in order to be productive and in order to have an effective new year. I know a lot of times the slogan is New Year, New Me, but I feel like it's New Year, New Everything. I think it's going to be a really great year, and I just want to be able to share the tools that I am going to follow in order to maybe, do this together. Let's have a great 2022 with one another, and let's be each other's support throughout this year. So first off, I do want to talk about the importance of setting the tone for your day. Now, a lot of times, I feel like whenever we get up in the morning, there's so many things that can be already hounding us as soon as we open our eyes. It could be a negative thought, a bad dream, or looking at our phone and seeing a message from someone we weren't really excited to talk to at that moment, or seeing an email from work. And it could really just start to pile up and become overwhelming. So I want to shed light on the importance of our part in setting our tone for the day. Now, for me, I've noticed that whenever I get up in the morning, whatever I'm thinking, whatever I'm immediately allowing to come into my being, whether that be looking at the media, listening to certain songs, whatever it may be, it's going to affect me for the rest of the day. And also whatever thoughts I'm allowing to reside in my mind, it's going to have a big impact on how I view the rest of the day. So for me, what works is waking up with my morning message, and that is something that really gets me going. It gets me out of my rut in the morning of, oh my gosh, my alarm is ringing, this sucks. So for me, that's what works. I know for some people it might be music, turning on your favorite song, doing some stretches in the morning, praying in the morning, whatever works for you. I would highly suggest that you direct your attention towards that positive activity in the morning, rather than immediately picking up your phone and looking at social media or looking at all the things on your list that you have to do, because that can just really overwhelm you. It can cloud your mental capacity, and if we're waking up thinking automatically, wow, it's Monday, this day is gonna suck, this is gonna be a long day, then this day is probably gonna suck, and this day is probably going to be a long day. So if we can just immediately take control of our day as soon as we wake up, before the day takes control of us, I feel like we're already on the right path. Throughout this new year, I would also encourage you to try and set a routine. Now, I know that can be a little bit difficult being that life is so hectic and there's always something that's going to be thrown at you that you're not expecting. That's called life. I would encourage you to at least try and make little efforts to have a routine set in place. I know personally for me, one of my routines is to make sure that as soon as I get home, I take my little puppy Bamboo out for a walk. And then I immediately follow in with my exercise for that day. I know for myself that if I sit down once I get home, I'm already exhausted. My body is already shutting down as soon as I get home from work. I know that if I sit down, it's going to take a very, very long time for me to get back up. So just having that routine set in place to know, okay, when I get home, this is exactly what I do every day. It's easier for me to stick to it. It's easier for me to have a bit of structure in my life. And it helps me be more mindful of the tasks that I have to complete throughout that evening. In order to create a routine, it may also be beneficial for you to get an agenda. Now, I know for me, I have my agenda here, so cute. This is something that I look forward to every year, is what my agenda is gonna look like. And it really just, I don't know, it brings me so much joy. It's the little things. It honestly is the little things. And I feel like this is something that really helps me stay focused on what my tasks are for the day, just in general. And it also adds to creating that routine. Now, I know for me, something that really helps is whenever I'm writing down the things in my agenda, I like to make it fun. No one likes to look at a whole list of things that they have to do and honestly might not want to do and have it staring at you all day. But for me, it really is exciting to make it cute, make it fun, make it simple. I know for I don't know if you guys can see this, but I have a whole bunch of different colors. So I have my little colorful markers to have a different color for each day. It is also very refreshing and fulfilling that whenever I finish something that I've written down for my to-do list, that I'm able to make a little squiggly to mark it off. It's like such a glorious moment for me. And at the top of my week, I like to give myself a little encouragement. That's what I'm trying this year. So I have for week 1 at the very top, it's just a reminder every time I open it for that week, surrender to allow redefinition. And let's see, for week 2, more of him and less of me. So week 2, I already know that's gonna be a good week. Actually, what am I saying? It is week 2. Okay. I did not do any of that. Another thing I'm going to try and adapt this year is writing on my sticky notes. I do feel like this might come in handy, whether it be marking off the things on your to-do list or simply crumbling up your list once you've completed it to throw it away and get it out of your sight. That might also be helpful for you. I do feel as though once we are writing in our agenda and we are creating that some sort of routine, it is going to allow us to plan ahead, to really exercise having that structure in our lives. I know that it can be difficult to have that structure, being, as we mentioned before, that life can throw things at you that you didn't even expect would happen for that day, and that is completely fine. I also want to shed light on are practicing self-compassion, which we have spoken about before. And I do think that it's not always a matter of rushing to get everything done off of the list. But if you can at least mark off one thing or two things, that's 1 or 2 less things than you had to do originally. And I think that is something to rejoice about and something to really pat yourself on the back for. So just knowing where to lend that kindness to yourself, even in the midst of trying to be structured and organized throughout your week. It may also be beneficial to set in place some silent goals. I know for New Year's, it's a lot of times the going theme to, have a whole list of goals that you want to accomplish for the year. That is definitely helpful in some cases, but it can also be a bit intimidating. So I want to encourage you to set some silent goals for yourself. And when I say silent goals, I mean you don't always have to write down the goal for it to be what you plan to achieve for that year. If that is a bit stressful for you to have that whole list of goals staring at you, then try setting little goals for each week. Now, I know something simple for me has been that I'm going to start petting my puppy Bamboo a bit more. And that might sound like something very simple, not that important, but for me, I think it's important for us to share that affection with one another. And I feel as though sometimes that can be lacking considering how busy I am, considering how stressed I am. I feel as though sometimes that can be missed. So for me, that is a silent goal. I didn't write it down anywhere. I didn't pressure myself. I didn't make it an overwhelming task to accomplish. But now, whenever I'm sitting doing work on my computer or looking over assignments, I'll realize my hands aren't doing anything. Just scratch Bamboo's little head. It'll be okay. It's not a big task. It's something that will take a few moments, but at least I know that I'm putting in efforts to accomplish those silent goals. I would also encourage you to try and replace dreadful days of the week with something that brings you joy. I know a lot of times Mondays can be very intimidating, and so can Sundays, because Sunday is the last day of the weekend a lot of times, and it could feel like you're running out of time. It could feel like you didn't get to accomplish all the things you wanted to during the weekend, or you didn't have enough time to rest, you didn't have enough time with your family, and it can become a very depressing day, unfortunately. And I know a lot of times Mondays are also dreadful. A lot of people don't enjoy Mondays because it's the start of the week and it just reminds you of how long the week is to come. But if you are having any days that are bringing you down or making you feel as though you don't think you can get through the week, try and input some things that bring you happiness. If you have a favorite movie and you have some time to watch that movie on a Monday night, then set that in place for your self-care moment at the end of the day. On Sundays, if you are a little bit nervous about the week, try and get some fresh air. Go outside, take a walk, go golfing, or take a hike. Do something that could possibly brighten your mood for that moment, and just really rest in that time that you have rather than focusing so much on the dreadful week to come. And that also goes back to our first point of setting the tone. As we set the tone for our day, we also set the tone for our week. So the attitude that we have on Sunday or Monday is likely to be the attitude that we will have for the rest of the week. So we want to make sure that that is a good perspective that we're coming into the week with, that we are having optimism and we're exercising our choice to be joyful and to choose happiness. I would also encourage you to be mindful of resting, not rushing. I know personally for me, my schedule is very hectic all the time. I am working full time, and I am also going to school full time for my master's degree, and that can be overwhelming to say the least. It's so many assignments, so many tasks at work, and then I also have life in general. So a lot of times I would find myself just trying to get to the next thing that I had to get done, just trying to accomplish every single thing that was on my to-do list, everything that was set before me for that day. And let me just tell you that that is draining. And that is honestly what I think fueled the burnout that I was experiencing. And that's just not something that's helpful or healthy for oneself or others around them, because if you're running on empty, how can you perform properly, and how can you be your best self for those in your environment as well? It's definitely a matter of just taking a moment to be present, taking a moment to be content with where you are, and lending yourself once again that self-compassion. It's a matter of how you look at it, it's a matter of how you perceive it, and how you reframe your thinking. I was so focused on how much time I was losing that it was causing me to miss out on the moments that were right in front of me, and it really interfered with the well-being of my life. It did not allow me and lend productivity throughout my week. and throughout my 2021, because I was so focused on how to get to the next phase in my life, how to get to the next task, how to get to the next moment. And I was missing out on life. Life was passing me by. So I definitely encourage you to exercise rest, exercise contentment, to be mindful, to be present, and to just be still. That is definitely something that I encourage you to focus on. I think it's also very important to recognize self-care in the form of remaining organized in your space and in your environment. Self-care can be viewed as a lot of different things that we can do: going to the spa, getting a massage, watching our favorite movie, taking a nap. But I also think it's important to shed light on taking care of your surroundings. I notice for me that whenever I am in my space, if it is out of order, if things are scattered everywhere and there's clutter and there's dirt and it's not up to par, then I am not performing at my best. I do notice that it affects my level of productivity and my effectiveness in what I am doing. So I encourage you to be mindful of your space that you're in. Be mindful of how you're taking care of your surroundings, because it is a matter of it being a reflection of how you are performing. And finally, we cannot close this conversation without talking about our options for caffeinated beverages. Let me just say that I was a very big advocate for coffee for a long time, until coffee stopped me in my tracks and said, no, girlfriend, you cannot drink coffee every day. My body was just not receptive to it. It turned out to be a less healthy option for me personally. I definitely enjoy coffee, but that's not something that I can do every single day. So I have started trying out different teas, and I know green tea and black tea has been very helpful in the option of caffeinated beverages for my style throughout the week. And I also have been trying a new energy drink that has creatine in it. It is called Bang energy drink, and on the back of the bottle it does have all the information of what's in it. There's 0 calories, 0 sugar, 0 everything except the sodium count, which is about 40 milligrams. And I know that, sometimes energy drinks might not work for people, but for me, I do notice that it is less harsh on my intestines, as I do experience different GI complications at times. This is something that has been easier for me to digest, and it does the same thing, if not better, than coffee throughout the day, but it is just less harsh on my body. So I would encourage you to take your own time to do that research on what caffeinated beverages work for you, and also make sure that you are getting the proper rest, drinking enough water, and moving your body, exercising, to make sure that you are taking care of not only your physical well-being, but it does enhance your mental health as well. And that will also play a big factor in your energy levels throughout the week and throughout the rest of this year. So I want to finally end with saying and sharing with you my word for 2022, and that is prosperity. Now, if you guys have a word for this year, I encourage you to put it down below. I would love to hear what your word is this year, and would love to discuss further of what your other silent goals are or your concrete goals are. Please feel free to also put that down in the comments. I can't wait to talk more with you about it. And if you have any questions, I'm open to answering any questions you might have. Anything that I can do to help you be productive and effective this year, I am here for it. I want to be your accountability partner. I want to get through this year together with you, and I just want to make sure that we are being our best selves. I thank you all for joining me today to discuss these ways on being productive this year and having an effective 2022. I wish you nothing but the best this year. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll be seeing you next time.